Brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
Something amazing is happening in workplaces everywhere. Devices are learning how people work and adapting to help them get more done. That's because CDW is modernizing experiences with Dell's intelligent portfolio of devices. Thanks to built-in security and AI capabilities, your teams can work smarter wherever they may be. Dell and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
Looking for a way to get your favorite blurs from Pradco at the click of a button? Learner.com not only has brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, but the site includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. We have free shipping for all U.S. orders over $35, so be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures. Check out Learner.com today.
You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm hairy everywhere else except my face.
This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
We go to Kentucky, where Brandon is.
You all have one of the best fan bases in the nation, and I cannot believe that the ultimate master manipulator, Coach Calipari, have already got you guys saying we're built for Mars. He talks down to the fans by calling us basketball Benny. Calipari puts himself out of Kentucky by talking down to people and forgetting where he comes from. The game has passed him up, and he's too stubborn to ever make a change.
This is The Morning Rush.
Up in Kentucky, they make a whiskey they call a Kentucky Straight whiskey.
February 1st can't come here soon enough. You're 0-4 in SEC play. You hope they turn it around this Saturday against Missouri. But if they can't, for whatever reason, shots aren't going in, defense isn't changing, then you just hope you win that game in Lexington in Rupp Arena. That was, I would say, a pretty cordial call yesterday, Tommy. Brandon said he liked the show. I don't know why he's listening to an Arkansas sports talk radio show rather than a Kentucky one, considering he's in Kentucky. But I just thought it was an interest
to the radio. So
I'm not going to take any shots at someone's education, considering I'm fatally flawed in a number of different areas. But if you want to, you can. Say I would hate to throw stones in glass houses, considering I have a lot of stuff that I could work on in that case.
The people that wear red are okay. It's the people that wear blue up there that
okay.
got problems.
Okay. All right. Cool. Good bourbon though. Good song, Johnny Cash. I am amazed because I haven't, and maybe because it hasn't happened before here in Fayetteville with any of Arkansas's coaches, where a former coach is so such as revered or hated. Pick a way to describe Cal. And where a fan base is so latched on to what your season does. Like I watched Muss the other day, and they beat Illinois on the road, and I was personally happy for him. I love Eric Musselman. I was glad he came to Fayetteville for a 5-year stint. Gave me some of the best memories in my lifetime of Arkansas basketball. I didn't experience the Nolan and Eddie stuff. I don't have that ill will towards him. I just felt like he was leaving. This is a completely different situation. It's a situation that we're unfamiliar with, and I'm still trying to grasp why Kentucky fans care so deeply about this.
Because everyone keeps up with their ex-wife. They don't want their ex to do better. That's what this is all about.
Right now, who's winning the breakup? Kentucky.
Kentucky's
it's not
winning
close.
The breakup. Yeah, absolutely. All right, what was that guy's name in Kentucky?
Brandon.
And I bet Brandon has the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. Get the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell, in the Apple app or Google Play Store.
We're going to chat with Tom Crean coming up. Coach Crean coached against John Calipari when he was at both Georgia and Indiana. It's definitely changed the SEC since he's been here, so I'm curious to get his perspective and kind of get a coaching side of seeing what's gone on, what's gone wrong, and everything else. But like Cal kind of mentioned it after the game against LSU on Tuesday night.
You lose a bunch of games now, the monkey's on your back, and so we got to try to figure out how to win one and then go from there.
Hopefully they'll have an opportunity to do that this upcoming weekend. Now there's only 3 SEC teams, Tommy, that are over in this league. South Carolina lost on a last-second shot to Vanderbilt in Nashville last night. Texas went to Norman and beat, at one time, was a ranked Oklahoma squad, and now Porter Moser and company have lost 4 straight. So what was help me on the phrase you said yesterday?
Michael Buffer. Somebody's O has got to go. So hopefully it doesn't last all the way till a week from Saturday when Arkansas and Oklahoma play. But eventually somebody's going to get the monkey off their back. Arkansas needs to do it this Saturday at Missouri.
So we've taken a lot of calls, texts, and we can continue to do so at 877-377-6963. Your opinion, Tommy and my opinion, Colton's opinion. But I want to hear a coach's opinion, and that's why we're going to get into our opening drive.
Timeouts for Indiana. Jones. Watford for the win! Yes! Look at Tom Green. He aged 10 years here today, but he won the game. And it is bedlam here in Bloomington. Absolutely unforgettable.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
And we go to Coach Tom Crean, ESPN college basketball analyst, formerly head coach at Marquette, Indiana, and Georgia. Coach, I still remember your face after Watford hit that shot. That's the same disbelief that Arkansas fans have right now with this basketball team. I don't know if there's a better comparison than that.
Well, it's funny. Like, I was so mad at the end of that game because I didn't think we could win. We'd had a 10-point lead. It's great to hear that sound again, but we had a 10-point lead with just under 8 minutes to go, and our team came out, and instead of doing what we were doing to win the game, we decided we were going to do our own thing. And John's team came back. They capitalized on it. We lost momentum, and I didn't think there was really any way for us to win that game, and I guess I was still in a stunned, I don't want to say angry, but I was close to it, but stunned disbelief that we won it, but thank God we did.
That's one of the best.
I don't think it's as bad for you guys as I watch all these games, right, because of the studio and I chart them and I watch them. Especially I try to do the TV job like a coach in the sense of like game planning and charting and how would you attack this, how would you attack that. I don't think Arkansas is that far off. I really don't, and I'll tell you why. If you have any specific questions, go ahead, but I'll tell you why I don't think they are.
Just tell us. Yeah, tell us, Coach. We need some expertise here.
They haven't put the 40 minutes together in the sense of what they're capable of. And the other night was a great example against LSU. They're up 28-18. I mean, they're handling the rim. They're doing a great job. They're defending the rim. And we'll get to the weaknesses in a minute. 28-18, they're throwing the ball ahead, they're driving, they're attacking, they're getting it inside. And all of a sudden they got away from that. And it happens. It happens with teams. And the trick is, how do you get them back to that quicker? How do you get them back to understanding this is how we're winning the game? We don't need to get away from it. And sometimes as a coach, it's hard because you can't call timeout every time. And if you're running, you really don't want to stop and call a set every time, because that's taken away the momentum of what you're trying to do. And obviously, they scored a few more points, but LSU got confidence. They got back again. And no, it's really hard to play great for 40 minutes. But when they can figure out, again, why they beat Michigan in a comeback, why they beat Kansas, going back to the exhibitions, there's this common denominator when they play well. They're on the attack. The guards are on the attack. They're not settling for shots, because Boogie Flan's one of the great pull-up shooters in the country, irregardless of class. DJ can get to the rim. Firo is one of the most improved players in the country. What he's done with Brazil, because I thought the first year that Eric had Brazil, he did a really good job. But then I thought Brazil really, he wasn't close last year, right? He had the injuries and things like that. Well, John's done a really good job with him from watching where he was a year ago. And because I know Eric tried, but there was there was just drama. I mean, he had the injuries, but they're getting a healthy Adu now and being able to play with him. First off, I think if he hadn't gotten hurt and didn't have that recovery time and trying to get back into the games, things could be a little different. But their number one weakness is guarding the ball, right? And the bottom line is if those guards and if the communication, the closeouts, the being under control when you close out, a little bit more better first step guarding the ball, they can protect the rim. I mean, there's enough guys there that can protect it. They just got to keep the ball in front of them a little bit longer. Yeah. And I think the shooting will come. I think the shooting comes based on, like, they don't have a bunch of guys. Like, John L. Davis is a pretty good shooter if you throw it to him in a catch and shoot. And you've always got to work with his form. You got to work with his technique because he has a tendency to swing the ball a little bit. But when he starts coming off screens and shooting it, you know, leading off his right foot, right, left, and now he's not on balance. He's not as good at that. That's not what he's good at. But like getting a catch and shoot, getting the ball driven, being able to step into it, they can all make those shots, right? They just need to find a way to get more of it. And to say they need to be more consistent is one way to put it, but they need to understand as a group in there why what's working is working and not get away from it. Yeah. And I think that's because I really don't think they're that far. I mean, that league is so good and the margin for error is so small. Well, it's kind of both ways. And I think that's why if once they get a win, I think they're going to be fine. They're going to take that. There's going to be 50, 60, 70 pounds drop off their shoulder, much like Texas last night beating Oklahoma. Yeah. You know, that's like now you're ready to roll. But they're right there. And I think they've been right there for a couple of weeks. They just haven't had 40-minute games. They haven't been as aggressive as they need to be inside of those 40 minutes. The guarding the ball is going to take – they've got to figure out different ways that they're going to be in better help situations because the guarding the ball takes the longest to get figured out. But there's a lot of other things they're doing well. They just need to do it longer.
ESPN college basketball analyst and former head coach Tom Crean is our guest. Coach Cal has talked about the injuries and the limited minutes of scrimmage time they've had in practice leading up to the season, leading up to even the start of conference play. Give us some insight on how that's affecting the development of this team and why that might be what's creating this slow go and this slow start when they've had such limited practice time together as an entire unit.
Well, that's real, and that's where your walk-ons are so important because your walk-ons have got to be able to give you, or your GA, you know, because they can practice at times too. That's where they've got to be able to give you a strong look, and they've got to be able to. They don't have to be as good. They're obviously not going to be as good, but they've got to be competitive. They've got to be able to help. But it is real, and I think the Adu injury. I mean, people forget how good he was at Tennessee last year. I mean, he was really good. Now, John L. Davis, there's always been things to his game that I think he's needed to improve. I didn't think he was as good last year for Florida Atlantic as he was the year before. And some of that, to me, personally, he was trying to do too much. And when you understand who you are, like Davis showed some of that the other night. I think when you come together in a new environment, not just because he's a new coach, that's the hardest because there's really very few people, with the exception of the Kentucky guys, that know what he wants, right, and know how they want to play. So that definitely takes time. But it doesn't matter if you've been somewhere for a long time. There's a few outliers like Michigan State and Marquette, and I'm sure there's some others that have had the 90%, 95% of their guys together for some time. But most don't have that anymore. So it takes time for everybody to understand. This is the biggest. This is not an Arkansas issue as much as it's a universal issue. It takes time for everybody to understand they're not getting what they want if their teammates aren't successful too. And that takes time to get to. It always took time. And that's one of the things that John was masterful at Kentucky because he was doing it at a level with all the one-and-done guys that knew they were only there for a year. When you get a team of guys that they all think they're going to the same place at the same time, which is the NBA, it is really, really hard to get them to understand this is about your teammates. This is about how much better you make them. This is about your continuous improvement. This is about you understanding you're truly not going anywhere without the other guys being able to do what they need to do too. And that takes time, especially when you haven't been together. So in the question that you asked about the practice time, that's where a lot of that comes in. And it's not just the scrimmaging, it's the situational scrimmaging. It's the putting 4 minutes on the clock, you're down 10 on the road. It's those type of things that you miss when you can't scrimmage fully as a team. And I haven't seen them practice, and I haven't seen them, see how many guys they have on a daily basis. But those are the things that as a coach right now in this day and age, you've got to be as locked in your scrimmaging to how you teach situational basketball and how you overcome being behind and how you hold a lead as much as you do, hey, let's play, first team to 20, right? Like, that's not important anymore. How you understand how to make each other better inside of situations is what's important. And I'm sure the injuries have had a lot to do with that. But I still go back to this. Adu is good enough that and David, John L. Davis is good enough that if those guys were healthier longer, they played enough basketball that they know how to compete, win, and do things that can impact winning. And that's why I think, one thing with John's teams, and this is different, obviously, because it's a new program, it's a whole new group of players. When he's had all those young guys in the past, somewhere in mid-January is where they really started to figure it out, where they started to figure out, man, my teammates got to do well, too. It wasn't about the talent. It was about how you brought something out of each other's talent. And I think that's one thing that he's always had, that mid-January to mid-February time, there's been a lot of improvements in his team. And if they can stay healthy now, and like I said at the beginning, if they can figure out how to keep doing what's working and not branch off into their own thing or not get disappointed because they miss a shot and not try to manufacture shots, but take the next pass to get the best shot and then get that ball inside where they can get it on the glass and utilize that athleticism that they have, I think they'll get better in a hurry.
Coach, you mentioned mid-January. We'll let you go with this. 0-4 right now in the league. You got 14 games to go. What are your expectations of this Arkansas basketball team in the next 14 conference games?
I don't think as a coach, I don't think you can do it, and I don't have a good answer on that because I've never looked at the game that way. Do I think – I would say it this way. They've proven they can win. They've proven they can go on the road and win. They've proven they can compete. There's certain games, where you just get beat, okay? And there's certain games where you lose it. And I think that's important right now because the Arkansas team has really, outside of Tennessee, not really gotten beat. There's been places where they've lost the game. And that as a coach is what you want to show your team. If we figure this out, and it's not just the end of the game, it's not just the last 3 minutes, it's not all that stuff. There's moments inside of the game, like that example I gave you of 28-18. Like, wait a minute, we were doing what we needed to do. We got away from it a little bit, and then it shows up on the defensive end because the other team gets confidence. And so I think big picture? Do I think they're an NCAA tournament team? Absolutely, because I'm not sure who isn't in that league. And I know there's some teams that are over. That Oklahoma-South Carolina game is huge because South Carolina goes in there this week, I think that's the game, right? South Carolina goes in there Saturday?
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think so, right? And I know Arkansas's got Oklahoma coming up.
Next week on Saturday.
Texas has got enormous talent. They won their first game last night, right? It's the league. There's nothing close to that league, right? And so I do think the fact that people have proven what I thought was going to be really hard, they've already proven it in the first couple of weeks. You can go on the road and win. Look at Ole Miss's 2 road wins. So I think once they get a couple things to go for them, I think they'll get better at home. I think they'll sneak some road wins out. I think they're an NCAA tournament team. I really don't think that they're not because but some of those things have got to change for that to happen and obviously they need a win to get some confidence. But they're good enough and they do good enough things, and he's certainly good enough coach. You can't win the way that he has won, the different ways that he's won, and not be an outstanding coach. He is. and he's been that way for a long time. That shouldn't be a debate. But that team definitely has room for improvement, and it's really sticking with what's working as much as it is anything else.
Coach, we'll leave it there. Tom Crean, ESPN college basketball analyst, formerly the head coach of Marquette, Indiana, and Georgia. Appreciate you making time for us here on the Morning Rush.
Sure, anytime. Glad to be with you. Thank you.
Good stuff. Have you seen that? So the clip that I played in reference at the beginning, Indiana beats Kentucky. That Kentucky team, I think, went on to win the national championship. I've never seen a coach react. It was so funny to see his face, and obviously that brought back a great memory for Tom Crean. All right, that is your opening drive this morning. Coach thinks that this is still an NCAA tournament team. What do you think? 877-377-6963. Our opening drive always brought to you by First Financial Mortgage. Ethan Adamson, my mortgage lender, my personal opinion, the best mortgage lender. He came recommended to me by a friend, and I'm sure glad that I followed through on that recommendation. If you don't believe me, go to Google Reviews. Over 300 five-star reviews right now. You can go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender. He mentioned mid-January, which is exactly where we are right now. I know we've been, again, yearning, wanting so desperately for this Arkansas team to come out and win a game. He mentioned Texas. Texas lost by 4 to Tennessee. They lost another tight game to Auburn, and I don't remember. So maybe that can be a reference. And listen, you don't like referring to Texas Longhorns for anything, but they finally got the proverbial monkey off their back. Maybe that can happen for Arkansas on Saturday.
You just don't want to be in that club, because everyone focuses on that. There's conversations going on. I mean, we were having some fun with Kentucky earlier, but their fan base is having a lot of fun. I saw a video of the Kentucky sports radio guy, Matt Jones, earlier, thanking Tyson Foods.
I have a message to my good friends at Tyson Foods and Arkansas. Thank you very much.
He goes on a little bit more.
Yeah, he goes in on the fact that, hey, you bailed them out of a $40 million buyout, on and on. You get a few wins and those conversations quieten down. People quit putting the spotlight on you for the wrong reasons. So I think Coach Crean makes a great point. You get that monkey off your back and maybe the faucet opens up real well. Monday night, we'll figure out who the national champion is in college football. I'm looking at the Bet Saracen app. Line has been moving down and started at 9.5. Right now on the Bet Saracen app, you want to take Notre Dame, you can catch 9 points on that game. Plus, the NFL lines are up for the weekend. Chiefs are favored by 7.5. Lions by 9.5. Eagles favored by 6.5. And the Bills are 1.5 point underdogs to the Ravens, even though they're at home. Get all of the lines, all of the bets, player props, and more. It's all there for you on the Bet Saracen app. Download it in the Apple App Store. Go to BetSaracen.com for great videos on how to enjoy it even more as you watch and have fun with the games with BetSaracen.com.
We got a chance to hear from Dave Van Horn yesterday. What does he think about the upcoming baseball season? We'll tell you coming up in our Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I love listening to y'all. You're a really intelligent group of sports broadcasters.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
a treasure trove of wisdom.
I am not going to quit having a Weller's a couple times a week, maybe 4.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Are you tired of the same old smelly gym? Then it's time to try something new. Let's Hang Out. The Hangout Fitness and Sports is the River Valley's only multi-sport family-friendly facility with a 24-hour gym and indoor courts for tennis and pickleball. With over 8,000 square feet for the gym alone, it's never overcrowded. The Hangout has certified trainers on staff with group personal training available. If HIIT, bar, yoga, or Pilates is your thing, they have that too. Join today and get January for free with a 3-month commitment. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's Hang Out.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Call the Hogs with Razorback women's basketball this season for exciting matchups inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, Bud Walton Arena.
All the changes we've had, the one thing that stayed really same is I'm going to coach them as hard as I'm going to love them.
Experience great family fun and entertainment by cheering on the Hogs along with the Hog Wild Band, cheerleaders, dance team, and mascot.
Carly inside, up with the ball, fouled, and one.
Tickets start at just $5 at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir. Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So you know the name Gabe Gackle. That's going to be in your starting rotation, probably your Friday night guy this fall. Phil, I know, is really excited about baseball season, as are a lot of people. Heard from Dave Van Horn yesterday. He also talked about maybe some other guys factoring in that starting rotation.
We're going to let them prove it to us a little more. You know, we saw a lot of good things in the fall and then off season. You know, I think just because we've been around Gage Gackle so much, had him here, we feel like that he will definitely be a starter. With Root, looks like a starter. Gage Wood, Bottle Cheese, you know, those are possibilities. And there's some other guys in there now. But really, you know, the first weekend we played 4 games, which I think's a good thing for this team, and then head down to Texas. And, you know, you look at our schedule, there's not a lot of games where you can go, okay, we're going to experiment with that freshman out there. Although in some cases with freshmen, it's not an experiment. They're pretty darn good.
You know, it's been pretty cold the last week or so, Tommy. It's going to be cold next week, maybe a couple weeks after. I wonder how cold it's going to be for opening day at Baum Walker Stadium.
But at least the investment's been made, you know, with the new building that, I don't know, what's it, 3rd year now, I guess, for it, where they can get the pitching lab. They can work indoors there. They've got the indoor where they can do infield. So got batting cages. So, but I don't think that replaces scrimmaging. You know, it's one of the reasons fall ball's so important. But at least they have the tools they need and the facilities they need to prepare for a season, because this has been an unusually cold and an unusually snow-covered January so far.
We were talking about Isaiah Joe's outing the other night in Madison Square Garden. Tell you who had a great night last night was Daniel Gafford.
And now it's Nancy Marshall's defense. So he is. Unbelievable.
So listen to the stat line. Tommy, he goes 12 for 13 for the Dallas Mavericks. El Dorado's finest for 27 points, 92% shooting. You know what he's shooting in the NBA this season?
It ought to be unusually high, as close to the basket as he stays.
A league-leading 71%.
Yeah.
That's absurd in today's day and age in college basketball. Love seeing Daniel have success.
Or pro basketball.
Yeah, that's what I say, college. Professional basketball for him to be at that point. Awesome for an El Dorado Wildcat and Arkansas Razorback and a guy that continues to have success at the next level. And it's a lot better that he's in Dallas rather than in Washington. All right, that is your Hog Update this morning, brought to you by our friends, as always, at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with Benny Malarkey. Call 888-SPARKY.
All right, Brent is in Searcy this morning. Brent, you're on the Morning Rush, man.
What is going on, Tommy? I am a frustrated Hog fan, and I got a question for both of y'all.
All right.
I got a question for both of y'all. Shouldn't we expect more from our basketball team?
Well, yeah, I have no issue with the expectations, particularly considering the money that's been reportedly invested in NIL. So, no, I don't have a problem with expectations.
Obviously, we're not picking the right people for the money they're giving out.
Who in the country didn't want John L. Davis? Who wouldn't have taken Jonas Adu? I mean, everybody wanted those guys.
Why hasn't the money spent gone into winning ball games? Because that's all we're worried about. Let's win games.
I think injuries have played a part in that, and they're facing the same battle a lot of other teams, trying to get the pieces to the puzzle to come together. But I think injuries have slowed them down. I think the talent's there. They're a collection of great players that have not yet become a great team.
Hey, Tommy, can I tell you something? We're tired of hearing they hadn't had time to practice together because they were hurt. We're tired of that. We want to sit. I got a question. Were we giving Secretariat when he was past his age for winning races? And that goes for the head coach, John Calipari. He needs to start throwing chairs or something during the game. He has no spunk out there.
Well, he took a different style this past game and tried to be more of a positive influence on the sideline. I don't know his demeanor like typically. I mean, I see him yell on TV. I've seen him yell in games. I don't know what that looks like relative to that. I don't think any of your frustrations, Brent, thanks for the call. I don't think Tommy and I have disagreed with any of them.
No,
we wholeheartedly agreed that this has been a disappointment thus far. They are 0-4 in SEC play. They are 1-5 in big time games this season. There's a 1-6. Yeah, 1-5. No, it's 1-6 because they lost to Illinois and Michigan, or Illinois and Baylor. They beat Michigan. So, yeah, thus far it's been a disappointment. I don't know if we'd feel as validated personally if Kentucky wasn't having the same success under Mark Pope with the exact same situation Cal found himself in with a completely new roster, but they are. So Kentucky fans are happy and gleeful right now, and they think it's great. Well, we're sitting here holding the bag. What'd you say yesterday? I never heard soup sandwich before. That's one of the best phrases you've.
Well, that's what it is. It's a soup sandwich right now, but they got to fix it. Got to figure it out.
And again, it's. I hate saying, well, you got to delay and wait to reserve judgment for 3, 4, 5 years because you want it now.
No, because it's going to be a new team every year for the next 2, 3, 4 years. Hey, tomorrow we'll do our Fence Man Friday picks towards the beginning of the show. We'll pick I'm sure we'll be picking NFL games and some college basketball for the weekend. The Fence Man's there. They can help you pick the right fence for your home, business, industrial project, government project, whatever it is you're responsible for in regards to fencing. They can do it. They have really grown a lot over the last several years. They've got 6 crews they can put out. They all have kind of a different specialty. Full welding shop for ornamental iron and custom projects like that as well. And powered automatic gates is a specialty. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
All right, when we return, we got our Morning Rush Daily question. Tommy referenced some NFL games. What's going to be the best one this weekend? We'll get to that next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is Phil Steele, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
A treasure trove of wisdom.
I am not going to quit having a Wellers a couple times a week, maybe 4.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
Well, you kind of teased it before the break. NFL games this weekend, so let's just go there with a Morning Rush Daily Question. Some great matchups this weekend. Houston and the Chiefs in Kansas City. The surprising Washington Commanders travel to the Arkansas-Detroit Lions. The Los Angeles Rams travel to the Eagles. And then Baltimore, a road favorite, against the Bills, which is the best game of the weekend. The Bills and Ravens have the smallest line, betting line at 1.5. Ravens favored as the road team on the Bet Saracen app. Biggest line, I guess, would be the 9.5 that the Commanders are catching from the Lions. Ty, which of the four games is the best in the divisional round? By the way, Texans, Chiefs, Commanders, Lions on Saturday. The other two games are Sunday games.
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be Sunday night. I mean, Josh Allen was talking about the hype earlier this week, and I don't know how you can't be excited for this upcoming game.
In the history of football, I've never really played against another quarterback. I've played against their defense, and just taking it one day at a time, trying to have a good week of practice, and then controlling what I can control.
But the hype is around the two supposed MVP candidates that's kind of narrowed down to. I know Barkley's in that mix, but it's the two MVPs. It's Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. You think Lamar's going to advance. I think Josh Allen's going to advance. I think it's going to be a great game either way. And it's Sunday primetime too, Tommy. And it is on CBS. Did you see that? You mentioned the Rams and Eagles game. Did you see it's on Peacock and NBC? So at least it's on NBC.
Yeah. Can the Ravens or the Bills, the winner of that, can either one of those teams go to Kansas City and win?
Man, I think they're going to beat the Texans by like 14. And
I'm making the presumption as well that the Chiefs win. So can the winner of that game turn around a week later and take down the Chiefs, who, by the way, will have an extra Let's see. The Chiefs play Saturday at 3:30.
Extra day, basically.
About 25, 28 more hours, something like that.
I don't know. We're in for a great AFC championship regardless, I think. I think if Buffalo, this could sound really stupid. I think if Buffalo hadn't beaten them earlier this season, then I would answer yes. And you think about maybe Baltimore has a bad chance because of the way they lost in, I think, week 1. You remember how the game ended, right? Likely's on the end zone and either would have won the game or tied the game, and Chiefs get out alive. So I actually would get, even though I think the Bills are going to win this weekend, I would give the Ravens a better chance to actually beat them in a rematch. That's probably nonsensical and sounds stupid, but what do you think, Colton? That's a good question. Can either team beat the Chiefs next weekend? Because they're going to win.
I think that yes, the Chiefs would probably take care of the Texans in pretty short order. I think everybody wants to know is people are asking can anybody go up with Patrick Mahomes? Well, I want to know if anybody's going to be able to stick it to the Chiefs defense because they're the ones that have really been bailing them out of all these miraculous finishes all season long. They've really helped the Chiefs become great this year. They've had such a stellar defense. So whoever comes out of that other matchup in the divisional round, the Bills and the Ravens, they're going to have their hands full with one of the best defenses we've seen this year in the league. And I think, honestly, I'm going to pick the Ravens to get out of that game alive and also make it to the Super Bowl. That's my pick.
Okay. So on the NFC side,
okay,
Eagles or Lions, who would you have as the best team of these four remaining? Who do you like? Who do you like for next weekend?
There seems to be too much turmoil with the Eagles right now. I think
can the Lions overcome their history
and their defense? Yeah, I think
and their injuries.
Yeah, I would take the Lions. I know Hutchinson.
I don't know. Washington seems to have, and nothing bad's happening to them right now. They, when the kicker doinks one in,
is really good.
Yeah,
Jane Daniels will have some fun against that defense this weekend. I would take if I had to choose the two. Now, here's a question: you think Detroit has a better chance? Or the AFC Championship, whether it's Baltimore or Buffalo, has a better chance to beat KC? Would you be more likely to think KC loses the Super Bowl or that AFC Championship game in Arrowhead?
Surely there's not a Harbaugh brothers matchup again, right?
Well, the Chargers lost already.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So,
he's not. Yeah.
But that would have been would have been interesting, like it was. What was that, like 2013?
That was the game in New Orleans where the lights went out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nance was talking about that actually earlier this week a little bit. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Best game
Rams there, and I thought him for some reason. Got my LA teams mixed up.
That is the again. I with McVay and what they've done thus far, I think it ends in the in Philadelphia and Lincoln Financial, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, that's your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Number one indoor golf destination in Arkansas is Cart Pass Social. It is cold outside. You still want to play golf? You can do so at Cart Pass Social. Over 500 different courses that you can choose from. They are awesome. You can select all these different ones. Bays get up to 8 golfers per bay, and it's BYOB. Check them out at cartpasssocial.com, 479-487-3622. Again, that is Cart Path Social. Doing it with Albert Pujols. Happy birthday today.
And here goes one in the left. How about 3 on the night in a row?
45 years old. You're more of a Cardinal fan than I am. I appreciate just good athletes and good baseball players, which is absolutely what he was. I think Cardinal fans, for the most part, have let bygones be bygones with him going out to LA and everything. Is that still do you think Cardinal fans?
The fact that he came back and finished up. Yeah. I think that he's going to be a red coat. He's going to have the statue. Mm-hmm. He's going to be one of the faces of your franchise as far as former players for. It's kind of like Ozzie Smith's been for 30 years. He's going to be that kind of guy. So, no, Pujols will go into the Hall of Fame as a Cardinal.
Mm-hmm. So. You excited about baseball this upcoming season? We got a kind of taste
Razorback
of it.
Baseball? Yeah.
We got a taste of it a little bit yesterday listening to Dave.
I hope this basketball season turns around and is closer to meeting expectations so we're not really fully focused on baseball at March 1. March 1, I still want to still be embroiled in a lot of great basketball conversations.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of shift that to this because I think it's interesting. Every fan has a different expectation for each sport. Every fan has a different thoughts on how Razorback athletics should interact with their own fans, how it should be run on a daily basis, and everything else. The phrase "disconnected" has been a buzzword with Arkansas athletics and the fan base lately. I think the only reason people are using that is because they're losing, right? Like, I don't think people were saying that under the same administration in 2021 when you had a 9-win football team, an Elite Eight basketball team, and a baseball team that was number one for a good chunk of the season. I don't remember that same phrase.
Dude, we were just trying to get over COVID at that point.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, it was great, right? Like, from a sports standpoint. I mean, that's as good as it's been under this administration. It's not close. 9 wins again, Elite Eight, and number one for a good chunk of the year. Lost a little bit earlier than you wanted to, but that was a successful sports calendar year. I don't remember, again, that being used, but because the teams are not having any success, your football program has won 6 wins, 4 wins, 6 wins the last 3 regular seasons. Your basketball team didn't do jack last year. Your basketball team doesn't look like they're doing that great this year. Hopefully that turns around. And you mentioned the baseball, like you want us to still have basketball be a high volume of conversation leading into baseball season because, one, it makes our job more fun if you actually have a competitive basketball team year one or Cal. 2, people won't have to shift to baseball this early in that situation. So do you feel like this athletics department is disconnected, or is it just because of the losing that's why?
All of it. It's losing's part of it. It's the asking the common fan, the everyday fan for money on a frequent basis is part of it. You know, I get a little, raise an eyebrow to the fact that we got a lot of people complaining about the money spent. I haven't put any of that money up for this team at 10 or 11 million. You, any of you listening? No. Unless John Tyson's listening or Warren Stevens is listening.
They're everyday listeners, but
but my point is we're all upset because of all the money spent, but none of that money came from our pockets. Now, still, it's our team. We want to see them win, but I hear that commonly. All the money we're spending. Well, I don't have a mouse in my pocket that wrote that check, but I think it's just you lump all that together, and that's mounting the frustrations. If we could have won at LSU and win against Missouri, you start building some confidence, you start building some trust again, and the narrative is so much different. And now you believe you're never going to lose again. Well, we're going to beat Georgia, we're going to beat OU, and then on and on. But, that's not the conversation we're having. So, what's the next step? Well, let's go on the road, Columbia, Missouri, win.
Tom Green joined us earlier in the hour. Really good conversation. If you missed it, it'll be in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. And he still talked about Cal's team kind of getting going in January. He still feels like this is an NCAA tournament basketball team. There was a couple of things he mentioned, the injuries and whatnot. I know we've seen this team now, at least players on the floor. That doesn't mean everyone that is playing is completely healthy or whatnot, but at least like there hasn't been a guy that's missed. I think, in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this last game was the first game all season that they have had a full composition of their 9-man roster. I believe it was the first one. Maybe it was the game before. But
I still think that's a bigger factor than we waited. I think that's maybe the overarching factor, the injuries that's caused the lack of practice court time and just game time for this team to gel and come together. That sounds like an excuse. I think it's closer to a reason. I don't know how you speed up that process, but I think that's somewhere down in the soil, the root of why we're not seeing the results we want. But what should be the results? 0-4 right now? Is this really a team that should be 4-0? Is that the expectation?
No, you should be 2-2.
You should be 2-2. So you're 2 games behind expectations. It sucks. I don't like it. You don't like it. None of us like it. But let's not pretend in this league right now this is a 4-0 basketball team. That would mean you're a top 5 team in the country. This is not a top 5 team. So they lost the LSU game they shouldn't have lost. That Ole Miss loss is looking better by the day after what they did at Alabama. Tennessee on the road, probably shouldn't expect to win that one. Florida at home. I would say based on what we've seen so far, tie 1-3. Now, you shouldn't lose 2 at home. I think you should have split those. You should be 2-2, but 1-3 wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's the LSU game right now that has really put you behind the 8 ball.
Tyler wants to know what the line is for Arkansas going 0 in the league. He would jump on that to make some money.
They're not going to do that. I don't think there'll be a team in this league that will go 0.
Mm-hmm. Texas got it off last night. South Carolina, Oklahoma play this Saturday. We'll see if one of those teams will get out of it. We'll see if Arkansas does as well in Columbia.
All right, 5 o'clock Saturday. Arkansas and Missouri. You can watch the game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Half-price apps and taps. It's right at dinner time. Perfect. They got TVs all around the restaurant so you can enjoy a great view of the game, plus all the beers on tap, and all the appetizers are half price on Saturday during the game. So start at 5 o'clock. Hogs tip it off. Be at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
All right, in hour number 2, our friend Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, is going to join us, continuing to talk Arkansas basketball, jumping a little NFL football, and what DVH had to say about the season.
This is Matt.
This is Robert. And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for dad jokes.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Old man winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal, socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker-Neuson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker-Neuson dealer.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies are high this afternoon in the low to mid 50s. We stay clear tonight, the night low in the low 30s. We'll see some sunshine early Friday, cloudy skies building in throughout the day. Otherwise, we may see a little rain in the afternoon, a high in the low to mid 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I would just say I'm not set for the priesthood or taking one of those vows. I just don't know how they do it.
This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
We go to Kentucky, where Brandon is.
You all have one of the best fan bases in the nation, and I cannot believe that the ultimate master manipulator, Coach Calipari, have already got you guys saying we're built for Mars. He talks down to the fans by calling us basketball Benny. Calipari puts himself out of Kentucky by talking down to people and forgetting where he comes from. The game has passed him up, and he's too stubborn to ever make a change.
This is The Morning Rush.
Up in Kentucky.
Coach Tom Crean appeared with us in hour number one. He's thinking that Coach Cal's still got a tournament team. What do you think? 877-377-6963. That was Brandon, a Kentucky fan that called in yesterday, gave his thoughts on this Arkansas basketball team and situation. And Matt Jones, Kentucky Sport Radio, gave his earlier this week.
I have a message to my good friends at Tyson Foods in Arkansas. Thank you very much. Seriously, thank you. Like, I can't thank you enough. You know, you sent me that chicken when you came and you took John Calipari. That was nice of you, but that was way too generous. You've been more generous to us. You saved us $40 million. You sent me some chicken nuggets, but you saved us $40 million. I'm going to take the stance that I'm happy that there is so much hate and vitriol that's coming from the Kentucky fan base right now. In the sense of, one, you want this rivalry to be an actual rivalry. And I liked when Muss and Cal went at it. I like when Mike Anderson and Cal went at it. And I like when these two fan bases bicker and bash each other's brains in on social media. And right now, Kentucky has the upper hand. There's no question about that. But if this thing turns out, if John Tyson and Warren Stevens' investment pays off, then a potential Final Four, maybe even something greater, beating Kentucky is going to be that much sweeter because of how much trash has been talked in this period of time, which has not been a graceful period for Arkansas basketball. That's where I'm coming from. That's the stance I'm taking. It sucked, these first four SEC games, but again, the hope is that it'll eventually turn to something that is not necessarily seamless, but much better than it is right now, and then you can gloat a little bit.
But it's year to year anymore, right? You're not building a program. You're just building a team every year. because 75 or more % of your roster will be gone season in, season out. It seems like that's the way it is with the portal. And you start over basically from scratch once again. Now, you'll have your staff and you'll have the stability of some of the structure, but that's the concern is, there's not going to be a lot of carryover, not just at Arkansas, but other places. So this could be a far greater year-to-year deal if you don't have your structure in place. And because I think your roster is going to overturn. So are we talking about the same stuff a year from now? I don't know. All right, Tom Murphy coming up in just a minute. We're brought to you by Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's in Fort Smith. One of the great places in town for a late afternoon cocktail if you want to wind your day down after work, or date night on a Friday or Saturday night. They have live music regularly there, but they have a great menu, and that's really not only is the bar and the scene and the really personal customer service that you get great, and they have happy hour till 6 on weekdays, but the menu is the star of the show. The fried deviled eggs, yeah, you heard me right, fried deviled eggs. Try those at Uncorked. They are unbelievable. The spicy meatballs, those are a couple of their appetizer selections. They got a big, thick, like double bone pork chop that is incredible on their menu. The shrimp and grits are great, and they always update that menu a few times a year to give you more of a seasonal variety. They got some great staples and regulars on their menu as well that I know you're going to love. Get reservations for the weekend or just stop in today beginning at 4. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Go to uncorkthefort.com for details and reservations and see menus and more. That's uncorkthefort.com.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Mach 1 Financial. Mach 1 Financial Group LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-1financial.com/disclosures.
Now we're joined by our friend Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, appreciate you always hopping on with us at this time slot. I want to ask you first just kind of about the basketball thing and everything else. I know everyone's, again, 4 games in conference play. You make your judgments, and a lot of it negative thus far. What do you think's going through the mind of John Calipari and how the season's played out?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. That's a good question. Probably we got to keep our nose to the grindstone, improve the areas we can improve, address the areas that are needed, and try to win. Then their next game just happens to be against a team that I think's pulled off the biggest road win in conference play so far at Florida. I mean, this is the same court where the week before they crushed Tennessee by 30. And so maybe Florida, after beating Tennessee and then Arkansas on the road, probably felt like they could roll it out there a little bit against Missouri. But it didn't happen. So huge feather in Dennis Gates and his team's cap. That first round of games on that Saturday, there was one road win, Vanderbilt at LSU. And everybody thought, okay, home teams are going to be basically impregnable. There might be a few breakthroughs. We've seen a ton of breakthroughs in the last, 3 rounds of games. So I was thinking about this a lot, y'all. Now, if you're a fan or you cover the team, you think about the mental perspective you take in these games. Okay, Arkansas gets out to a big lead in the first half. Oh, well, we know, what the trend is. The other team's going to come back. That happened at LSU the other night. But we saw a difference. Arkansas bounced back, built back an 8-point lead. And so as fans and as people who cover the team, you're like, well, what's next? We don't know. And I think that mindset might be a part of the team right now. They're not sure about how to close out a game. And so that's what John Calipari and his staff are dealing with right now, instilling the confidence that not only can you come back the way you did early in the second half against LSU and build a lead, you can sustain it and possibly build on it. And that's the next step for this team.
So he's a Hall of Fame coach, Tom. We know that. I don't know if you saw the College Football Hall of Fame and Michael Vick, Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, got a couple other guys in there. What did you make of the latest College Football Hall of Fame class that came out yesterday, I guess?
Well, I guess Saban, I mean, that's a big deal, man. He's only been retired 1 year, but I thought there was some kind of time deal, but good for him. Clearly, he belongs there. The greatest coach of our lifetime in college football, no doubt. Did he eclipse Bear Bryant? He might have. Dynasty comes to mind, and I don't see anybody building a dynasty in the current makeup of college football. So what he's done, unparalleled, and obviously a really strong class. I mean, look, you can say what you will about Michael Vick and off the field. As a Falcons fan, I appreciated the dynamic running ability he had, and if we'd have had that early this season, who knows? We might have hung on and got a playoff berth.
Tom, I want to circle back to basketball. We were talking earlier, teams 0-4. Obviously, no one's feeling like expectations are met at this point. But what is realistic at this point? Because they're not a 4-0 team either. And I think some of the response and some of the reactions, some of the texts, the calls that we get, it's almost as though they expected this team to be undefeated at this point in the year. What should be the record right now for this program and this team in conference play?
Well, I mean, just tracking back, could have, would have, should have hung on and beaten LSU. And then with the 2 home games, I mean, if you're just kind of tracking this out from the start of the season, you think they're 3-1 right now, that they went and found a win at LSU and they won their 2 home games. Now, the Ole Miss loss is looking a little better now after what Ole Miss did. And maybe that's right up there with Missouri as the best road win right now, because they came from behind in the second half and got the lead and then just imposed themselves on Bama. Very impressive.
Yeah.
And then the home. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think if I told you they should be 1-3 right now, that's not unreasonable. 2-2 is like best result, I think, after watching what's unfolded in this league.
Well, certainly the Florida win is here, not a shocker in the least. I mean, they kind of took control of that game too after the 11-2 or whatever Arkansas got off to in that game. So yeah, 2-2 maybe about reasonable. 3-1 if you really got out to a great start. So if you're an Alabama fan, I saw a bunch of reaction in social media. It's time to hit the panic button. Well, as a coach and player, you can't do that. You just have to do what I said at the very top. Find areas that you can improve. Holding on to leads better. And here's the thing: you can stack their talent up against Missouri, and those guys are coming off of a huge win, and maybe they think they can just roll it out there Saturday against a team that's really struggling. But I think the SEC has already shown us that you can't do that. I mean, look what Oklahoma's doing. They had a really great non-con.
Yep.
And they're struggling too.
South Carolina had a really good season last year in Lamont Paris, and they're also over right now. They'll take on the Sooners this Saturday for one less team to be over in this league. Tom Murphy, our guest, Hawk Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, I know Cal compared it to baseball earlier this season, the strength and toughness of the Southeastern Conference. Well, baseball is getting closer. Got a chance to hear from Dave Van Horn, and one of the things he talked about was just like the determination and just kind of how this team exited early the last 2 years in the regional in Baum-Walker Stadium. What do you think is maybe different about this year's team? A couple guys coming back like Diggs and Gackle, but what do you think Dave's trying to do differently than maybe his last 2 years?
Well, that's a great point. They've got to hit in the postseason better, and their aces have to show up. I mean, Hagan, for all we love Hagan, what he's done, but in the Kansas State game, he and like the TCU game the year before, home regional, for whatever reason he wasn't locating, and people sat on pitches, and he gave up some extra base hits. And not to pick on him, great kid, very proud. I hope he does great in the league. But I think Dave Van Horn and his staff sense there's going to be a different dynamism in the locker room and maybe on the field, and so I think there's going to be some good battles for positions, like in the outfield. Obviously, they can go into that first weekend and throw all 4 of their potential starters, the transfers, Root and Beetleshires, and then Gackle and Wood. But then that's got to be narrowed down week 2. So we'll see what happens from there. But what Dave Van Horn and his staff always do is put a competitive product on the field. Razorback baseball fans can show up to the park any day, and they might lose, but they're gonna get a great effort. And the product is going to be there. So I don't see any difference out of this Van Horn team. And, so many different faces. They wanted to be more athletic in the outfield, and I hope that plays out.
And, when you listen to Dave, I know that's always the page everyone's ready to turn, but I liked when he talked about the confidence of this team and that not depending on a Hagen Smith and the balance going into the year. I know that sounds like coach speak to some and, others, the next stop for this program is the national championship, but I like the quiet confidence he kind of displayed yesterday about just the mix of his roster.
He did very well do that, and I think obviously they see the inside of it better than we do, so we will trust his judgment. But that's the good thing about Arkansas baseball is you see them evolve on the field during the course of a year. Different guys' roles expand, decrease, what have you, but the leadership just remains the same. I mean, they've got a great coach, a Hall of Fame coach, and all three of their assistants are outstanding in what they do. And players come here. I mean, they are attracted here. And so the program, having these home regionals, you feel like they're in their favor. They didn't work out the last 2 years, but, man, it was a strong run leading up to that, and they want to get back to it, and that's what the aim will be.
Yeah. Hey, college football, I don't know how much power or stroke it's going to have, but I find it interesting from the coaches' convention. They had a unanimous vote about changing the portal. I don't know if that will get it done with that statement, but what did you make of that united front about, hey, let's make some dramatic change with how this transfer portal is done, particularly at the end of the year?
Yeah, and so from the macro view that we have with Sam Pittman, he has expressed how hard that is for the coaching staff to be confident on what their rosters are going to look like when the portal window is so wide open. And it's the December one that's really, really hurts because it's costing teams players from bowl games, including teams in the playoffs, and it just seems a little bit chaotic. So I think they're trying to take some steps to get things back in a little bit more, control. The players have a lot of latitude right now. So I just think they want to manage the windows better. And I don't know if they ever get down to having just one window, but there are no perfect solutions, but I think they have to work piecemeal toward, getting a better solution.
Tom, before we let you go, I knew you shared some important news in your life on social media last night. I wanted to kind of give you a chance to share with our audience kind of what's been going on in your life here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, in late November, man, it was a rough deal. I found out I've got cancer in my throat and a tumor. And Bob knew I was going to the doctor. He kind of knew what was up. And so we sat down before the game at Missouri, and he said, hey, how'd that checkup go? How'd that deal go? And I was like, well, it didn't go good. They found something. But I'll tell you after the game. And I never got to tell him. And that still hurts my heart. Hurts my heart that I didn't get to tell Bob I love him one last time. But I have had so much support from people across the spectrum, fans, people all around the country, other people who cover sports have just uplifted me, and I feel really strong going into this. And 8 weeks or so from now, I'll get rechecked, and I hope it's a done deal, man.
Man, we'll be praying for you, and I know that's when you're in that situation, and I've been blessed to not have that, but I've got family members that have been there or currently there. It's never comfortable talking about, the most personal things like your health and the fear of what the result could be. So courageous on your part, and I'm glad you let us all know so we can be praying for you.
Thank you so much, Tommy. And I accept everyone's prayers. So many ex-players reached out. I have a great support system. I feel very confident. I just feel very at ease with the whole scenario. And thanks to all your listeners. I'm sure many of them are ones who responded on social media. And I'm good with it, man. And I'll talk about it as things go on. I'll give updates talking to you guys. Yeah, it sounds good.
It just here in Utah, it's another reason why we should all just try to take a deep breath, and be kind, because you never know what someone's going through in their world that you have no clue about. And
I've been learning that, Tommy. I had 61 years of blessed health, and I just think of this as a minor blip.
yeah, and you just never know what the person you're dealing with, talking to, negotiating with, working with, whatever, they may be off a little bit today. They may not be acting right, because you never know what's going on in their life that you don't know about, and then you learn things like this, and just another reason to be kind.
Yeah, we got people texting in, Tom, giving feedback, and Mike Benville says he appreciates the perspective that you're taking on this, and got other responses as well. So it's not just me and Tommy, it's all our listeners too, buddy.
It's lovely, and I agree with what you guys say. Yeah, give people some grace, man. Traffic, just life, situations in the restaurant, whatever happens. Give some grace and understanding. Love y'all.
Love you too, Tom. Appreciate it. We'll be praying for you. Talk to you on Tuesday. All right, Tom Murphy with us, Arkansas Democrat, Gazette, Whole Hog Sports, and that's what this show is about at times. We real life happens. 0-4 doesn't seem as important when you're going through what Tom is going through, and there's even more that's to the story. I mean, I've got a father-in-law that's dealing with it right now. My wife is a cancer survivor. I mean, we've all been touched by it, and all felt the effect of it. But I don't think until you're the one dealing with it, you always truly understand, the emotions of it and the gravity and the reality of it. So, keep Tom in your thoughts and your prayers as he battles and deals with this. All right, this hour of the Morning Rush brought to you by our friends at Mach 1 Financial. Hey, a question on many investors' minds is this should be when bonds, or should I be including bonds in my investment portfolio? Some think bonds are outdated, while others say bonds are becoming useful again. Hear thoughts from financial advisors at Mach 1 Financial Group on this week's episode of the Market Moment Podcast. You can also find podcast episodes at market-moment.com. Tune in to get your financial questions answered. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC, is a registered investment advisor. They're located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-1/disclosures.com.
Well, I've got some bad news. You want me to share it?
Yes.
Might as well tease it out. Bob Uecker just passed away.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed. Ball 4. Ball 8. Low, and Vaughn has walked the bases loaded on 12 straight pitches.
1934 was when Bob was born. Just passed away recently.
He'd be 90. They got 90, or I don't depend on his birthday, 90 or 91, I guess. So probably 90. But I mean, I'm of an age group. I don't remember Uecker as a player. I know him more from Major League. I think that movie was made in 86, if I remember right. You know him from The Tonight Show. He'd go on with Johnny Carson. He was hilarious. He was never a great baseball player. He was an entertainer. But man, what a career he made just by having a lovely, warm personality that made people laugh.
I know him also, like you said, from Major League, 90 years old.
Yeah.
He's, again, Brewers broadcaster. You heard Major League and everything else. But
I mean, he had some one-liners in that movie that get quoted constantly in my circle.
All the time.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer and 90 years old recently within the last 20 minutes or so that's been reported here. So just wanted to update our audience this morning. I know that is a name that again, a lot of people know when it comes to baseball and everything else. You mentioned
one of the great broadcasters.
Yeah. You mentioned something to Tom there about the AFCA, the coaches convention, everything else, where the head coaches unanimously favored to do the transfer portal from January 2nd to 12th. Now it's got to get sent to the football oversight committee for it to pass and everything else. Help me on this, why this wouldn't pass. Like if the coaches,
I mean, there's things that seem obvious every day in the world that don't get done. That
I guess
seem obvious.
Would it be challenged by players, I guess, to be able to have a lengthier time to transfer and everything else, and agents, and I'm just trying to think of why this wouldn't come into effect. I know the coaches want it, that's why they voted on it.
I think you're on the right track.
Is that why?
The voice
Okay.
and the agents and the people, the agents want as much time as they can to leverage as many deals. This is an ugly game behind the scenes. This is one of those deals you don't really want to see how the sausage is made. There's a lot of ugliness behind the scenes as you listen to coaches, you hear the stories. A guy that's not really even an agent, but he's a broker. And he just calls one. Hey, if I can get so and so, if I can get Ty Richardson to get into the portal and come to your school, how much will you pay? $500,000. All right. Click, pick up the phone. Hey, if I get Ty Richardson to get in the portal, Ole Miss is going to give him $500,000. What would you give him? I'll give him $600,000. All right. Click, call back Ole Miss. I mean, there's a lot of ugliness that goes on. And I'm not saying negotiating to get your biggest value is ugly, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things and people involved in the process. And I think one of the other things that the coaches should unanimously vote for, if you're going to represent one of these players, you need to be a certified agent. The NFL requires that. Yeah. The NFL requires you to have a certification. I don't know what the legalities are on that. We need someone with more legalese, but I don't know why you couldn't do that. I think that's the other thing is you've got to raise the level of experience, requirement, integrity, all of these things for the people that are negotiating the go-betweens with the players and the universities themselves or their fundraising. I think that's the other big key to this.
I think that makes a lot of sense. All right, we got our SEC update to get to coming up. A certain quarterback has decided to move on from college and go to the NFL rather than transfer out. We'll tell you who that is, and we'll give you some updates on some scores last night too.
I'm craving a little ice cream today. Might go by Andy's Frozen Custards, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, Conway, and in North Little Rock as well. They've got the best flavors, and I'm a Heath Bar guy. So, if I've got my choice of Butterfinger, Reese's, Heath Bar is going to be the one I go to. Nothing wrong with Butterfinger, nothing wrong with Reese's, nothing wrong with M&M's or Oreo. Like them all. Heath Bar is my favorite one. They'll blend up and put your favorite toppings and your favorite fruits in there as well. Doctor did say eat more fruit, so maybe I'll go by and get a strawberry frozen custard as well. So fruit flavors, candied flavors, they do them all. You can also get the Pick 6 where you can mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors. That'd be perfect for a game time treat this weekend with college basketball and the NFL playoffs. That's Andy's Frozen Custards. Download the Andy's app from the App Store right now. See them in Conway with 2 locations, JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock and on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
All right, more of the Morning Rush when we return on Thursday.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Arkansas is going to steal the inbounds pass, and Thero's going to go to the other end and throw it down.
This is The Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
With the new Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, $7 goes a long way. A cheesy gordita crunch stacked with layers of luxury. A Doritos Locos Tacos, extravagantly crispy. A beefy 5-layer burrito overflowing with cheesy indulgence. It's all you want and more. For less. The new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's Lux for less.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper.
Since your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
All right, let's start with some basketball in the conference. Texas finally got a win over Oklahoma last night in Norman, 77-73. Sooners, along with the South Carolina Gamecocks and your Arkansas Razorbacks, the three lone teams that are, I'm used to saying undefeated, but that are defeated 0-4 in this league. We'll see one of those teams get a win on Saturday as South Carolina travels to Norman. Georgia went to Tennessee, first time ranked in nearly a decade, got beat by 18. Vols win that one, and then South Carolina, as I mentioned, still 0-4. They lose at Vanderbilt last night in a last-second and one, as the Commodores are now 2-2 in this league. Tommy, it's again, you're in a situation where you're one of the three teams left. You'd like to get that off your back this Saturday.
Listen, nobody's happy about 0-4, but at the same time, are all these schedules balanced? Has everybody played the toughest team? Arkansas's played a pretty difficult schedule. The only game they absolutely should have won is LSU. Mm-hmm. The other three against ranked teams, and two of them are in the top 10, and Tennessee was number 1 at the time. Florida may be number one before the season's over at some point. I mean, so not everybody's played the same balanced schedule. I'm not making an excuse, but that's a reality. They should be at least 1-3, probably 2-2, because you should have beaten Ole Miss or Florida, one of them on your home floor. But that's where we're, you look at Vanderbilt, well, they're 2-2. Well, I mean, have they played the same level of schedule Arkansas has? Probably not to this point.
Mm-hmm. Continue on your SEC update. Quinn Ewers has declared for the NFL draft. Arch Mandy stepping in for that quarterback next season. Tommy, I don't see it. Like, I don't know why he's not staying in college, especially if there's a $5 or $6 million offer on the table. I mean, why are you taking? And maybe there's something I don't know, but I don't see him having success at the next level.
Right now, it's about a money grab, right? By getting as much as you can, and
that's what I'm saying. Why would you not stay in college when you know what it's?
Well, I'm agreeing with you. I mean, because it's $6.5 million, right? I don't. You said a number there, but I'm thinking and he hasn't even played that much. Him and yours, though, I mean, huge amount of market value right there. I just can't see Manning, going. I mean, why would you at this point? You stay. You play for $6.5 million. You live the college life. It's a pretty good deal. So, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of players that have to make that decision. I think there's going to be some on this basketball team at the end of the season that have to make that decision. Going pro has lost a little bit of its luster, and I heard a friend of mine say this the other day, and they're 100% right. The SEC in basketball, you look at the draft picks in the NBA right now and where they're coming from the last couple of years. This is the G League now. The SEC has become effectively the G League for the NBA.
I mean, probably. I don't know what the league minimum is for G League players, but I would think that there are some marquee players that would make more in college basketball.
Oh, absolutely. Probably
at
twice.
the next level.
Because we were hearing about some guys out of high school going direct to G League and $500,000-$600,000 contracts. Mm-hmm. I doubt G Leaguers are getting a 7-figure deal. Why wouldn't you go to college, build a market and a brand for yourself where your games are on TV and people are watching them and they will know your name? So, yeah, I mean, it's a much better deal because of the exposure, because of the marketing and the outside money you can make. Yeah, much better deal.
Do you see Karl Anthony Towns in Philadelphia with that Eagles shirt? Because he's from there, grew up an Eagles fan. Colt, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this. I was listening to the Unsportsmanlike this morning. I always get frustrated when I would walk on campus at the U of A and I would see other college sweatshirts. I don't know why that drove me mad. I don't have a problem with this. Like, if you grew up as a fan or anything else, that's fine. I guess I shouldn't be able to be mad at one thing and mad at. Do you have any thoughts on former Kentucky Wildcat as a New York Knit?
Yeah, I have a thought on
rivals.
I have a thought on him as a New York Knick, as a fan of the Knicks, wearing anything Philadelphia related at all. That's stupid, and you should not do that. Okay. It's not that you can grow up a fan of the team. That's fine, but when they literally get taught some of those things in media and PR training as to not turn fans against you. That's a quick way to turn the fans against you. Also by being soft, like
I know Derek and Zach give DQ a hard time when she wears another college sweatshirts.
I don't do that. I mean, there's if it's not in Arkansas,
it's charming when she does it.
I won't even buy it.
The two things I have in
if you gave it to me, I wouldn't wear it.
The two things in my closet that are college, non-Arkansas related is an Oklahoma State golf polo that my aunt got me. She's a big Cowboys fan. I like the polo, so I'll wear it from time to time. And then a Kansas jacket, which one of our coworkers got me, and it's really comfortable, so I'll wear that. But that I don't consider Kansas or Oklahoma State arch rivals. Again, I just thought it was funny that New York was going insane about a former Kentucky Wildcat and its choice of apparel. But New York and Philadelphians hate each other, so that makes sense. All right, that is your SEC update here on a Thursday.
Brought to you by the Inn at the Mill. If you're coming up for a game, you're looking for a great place to stay, we always recommend the Inn at the Mill. Conveniently located just off the Johnson exit, so you can just roll up, go around that curve there, first exit. After you head north is the Johnson exit, and it's right off there. You can't miss it. Big oversized rooms, convenient, close to shopping, close to great eateries, close to campus, close to the AMP, very close to the Naturals ballpark. Anything you want to do in Northwest Arkansas, you're in the hub. You're right in the middle of all of it. 479-443-1800 is their number. 443-1800 to book your room or go online at inatthemill.com.
So I don't traditionally think of Notre Dame and Ohio State as deep-seated rivals. Marcus Freeman played in Columbus for the Ohio State Buckeyes, but when they played and Freeman went up against his former team, Lou Holtz had some comments before the game, and then after Ohio State won, Ryan Day said this.
Toughness, that's it. Physicality, across the board, finish it off, having guts. Like, I'd like to know where Lou Holtz is right now. What he said about our team, I cannot believe.
So he goes on, and Holtz responded on social media to a recent Pat McAfee clip, Tommy. He says, if Notre Dame doesn't win, it's becoming my new favorite rivalry, Lou Holtz versus Ryan Day. It's because we want to preserve Ryan Day's job. I was originally going to be at the game in spirit, but now I'll be dragging my body along there as well. It used to be Catholics versus convicts. That was Notre Dame versus Miami. What do we call Notre Dame versus Ohio? I mean, we need a clever name. I don't know what to think of when I think of Ohio. I know we're going to try and go on this golf trip in August this year. It'll be my first time in kind of outside Cleveland. Like, what do you think when you think of Ohio? Is there like a clever thing that we could say Catholics versus fill in the blank?
I don't know enough about, you don't want to just say Buckeyes. That's too generic.
Catholics versus Columbans.
Catholics versus cheaters.
That works.
I still think about the Sugar Bowl. I'm still mad about that 15 years ago.
That works.
Oh, these guys are going to come back and serve their suspension. They're going to do the honorable thing after
Wasn't
cheating.
it? Well, okay, I know Terrell Pryor was part of that. I'm forgetting the running back that I believe was a part of it. But wasn't the kid that picked off Ryan at the end of the game also part of that? That just if I remember that correctly, that just kind of summed it up. And that's why Arkansas fans, again, I don't think a lot of Arkansas fans hated Ohio State prior to that point. I don't remember any history. I don't even know if they played outside that game. Y'all would have to help me out on that. But at that moment, when that happened at the tail end and Arkansas lost the way they did, then it became just you can't cheer for Ohio State. Not that you did previously, but it became upped a little bit. You were in New Orleans. I was told that was the loudest bowl game that anyone's ever been to from an Arkansas. I had someone tell me they said that fourth quarter was the loudest bowl game I've ever been to, and that's when Arkansas started. If
Arkansas would have scooped and scored, I just think about the path and the direction you'd have gone. What would have happened with Petrino? I don't think he'd have been fired, even if everything else had unfolded. Where you would be, I just wonder because you wouldn't get rid of a coach at Arkansas under those circumstances if he had won a BCS game beating Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl. I just think about all of that, but it wasn't to be.
But
one of the cool things, though, if you haven't seen Ohio State, that was the only time I've seen them play in person. The script Ohio, when they dot the I, the band. I mean, the band's usually not the coolest part of the night. But that was a pretty cool part of that night was watching script Ohio.
Now, I don't know about this. Your dad's a football coach, Colton. Like, everyone wants to blame Julian Horton for not picking the ball up and going and taking it to the house. I was taught, at least in junior high, that you just get on the football. I know that people say, why didn't you scoop and score? I was taught when the ball's on the ground, you dive on it. You don't try and pick it up.
Yeah, that's true. That's what they tell you when you can't handle the football. But if you're a defensive back, and
he's a wide receiver.
Wide receiver, yeah. Sorry, if you're Horton and you handle the ball, pick it up.
Okay.
At least try. They do tell you that, Ty, and they told me that when I was in high school to fall on the ball late seconds in the game, fall on it. Well, if you are a playmaker and you make plays and you're supposed to do it, man, pick it up. But at the end of the day, they had their chances, and that wasn't the one.
You can tell we're all three over that game back after the 2010
They're going to come back and serve their suspension.
It was for autographs now, and that is child's play for what they're getting paid for to do now.
And they
Ridiculous.
sold the little gold pant deal anyway.
Catholics.
That doesn't seem like 15 years ago.
Yeah. Catholics versus hairdryers. That's a response. Jim in Moundenburg says when he thinks of Ohio, he thinks where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should not be. Canton's not too far. I forget how many. I mean, you think about how many big cities, and we're getting off a tangent here. We'll come back. But you think about how many big cities are in Ohio. Think about Cincinnati. You think about Columbus. You think about Cleveland.
Toledo.
Toledo. I mean, there are just some massive. That's. Have
you ever been to the state of Ohio?
Mm-mm.
I've never been there either.
Trying to cross it off this year. Very smug, preppy, arrogant bleeps is what Josh calls them.
Are you a want to be in all 50 states bucket list guy?
Yeah,
that's something you want to do.
My dad's done that Again, I'd much rather do that than go out of the United States. I'd rush if like before I died. Much rather cross off every state than
those states
than go
northeast.
outside.
Those states northeast are hard to get to though, because you don't have any reason to go up there.
No,
What's
but
your
you can
reason
get to a
go
lot of them at once.
Yeah, at one time.
New Hampshire,
That's the reason.
Vermont. You
You
can
gotta
start
get those
getting
all
it.
at once.
Delaware. You can get them all in a day's drive. You know,
Yeah.
make about a 50-mile loop, and you get them all.
But
So,
there's so much to do here in Arkansas, like going to Gaston's or
Yeah.
just hanging out. It just
what a segue, man! Them broadcasting lessons I'm paying for are finally paying off.
Gavin said that you could just trade me for half a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and that would get me in the
Yeah.
portal.
It is the
And
half with
cold
both
waffle
pickles.
price. Yeah. Give me the pickles on that half, and
There you
a
go.
little of it of
That's a deal.
The Chick-fil-A sauce to go with it as well. Hey, speaking of Gaston's, that's the place to go. Winter rates are in effect at Gaston's White River Resort. You'll save on the lodging, which gives you more money to do some fishing with one of their expert guides. Lodging is such a great thing there because they got all the options. Whether it's you and the missus, or you taking the whole family, or you and the kids, from 2 to 22, they can accommodate you. A lot of their cabins have, or most of their cabins, I should say, have a private kitchen as well. So you want to cook meals, make you a pot of chili, not eat in the restaurant. They can make all that happen. Fireplaces in many of their cabins as well, which is great for this time of the year as well. 870-431-5202. Call and talk to the team there. Ask about winter rates that are in effect at Gaston's White River Resort. Again, 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call today. And good morning to this great fan base.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
I may mispronounce his name, but Talon Green.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Party Place has everything you need for special occasions. Super Bowl parties, Mardi Gras celebrations, Valentine's decorations, and more. Party supplies for 1 to 100. Shop the Party Place in Fort Smith.
The Party Place in the Tuesday Morning Building behind Ashley Furniture in Fort Smith.
Get ready for your party at the Party Place.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
See Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find them at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give them a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forest Grid wants
to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Join the ESPN Arkansas crew Thursday, January the 16th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Choctaw Casino in Pecola. This February and March, Choctaw Casino is giving away 2 brand new cars and over $100,000 in cash. Don't miss Chef Rocco DeSpirito February the 7th and 8th at the next Celebrity Chef Takeover. There's entertainment for everyone at Center Stage. Join us this Thursday, January 16th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Choctaw Casino in Pecola. This is how Pecola plays.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
All right, back here on the Morning Rush. We shared it earlier. Bob Uecker has passed away at the age of 90.
Hello, Tribe fans. Welcome back to Major League Baseball. Sort of. Paid attendance today is 1,412. Some of them were driven away by a little 10-run first inning the Red Sox put up. Take over, Monty. I'm in the bag. Me? Fly ball.
I'm like you, Tommy. I remember
that
him
must
from,
have been from Major League 2. That movie shouldn't. They just wiped that
Not
from
that one.
existence. No. Who was responsible for that? For pulling a clip from Major League 2? Oh, now nobody wants to raise their hand all of a sudden.
I'm not gonna blame him. I'm not gonna blame who it was. I thought it was. All right. I didn't know.
Hang on. Now, if you think Major League 2 is a good movie, now we have to have a whole different discussion.
I don't want to go down there after I passed away. It's not the route that I want to take on this one.
I don't think Bob Uecker was very proud of Major League 2, but he cashed the check, that's for sure. But so many one-liners in Major League. But what an entertainer. What an entertainer, Bob Uecker. The Miller Lite commercials in the 80s were
yeah, we got some text about that earlier.
good too. The one where he's sitting on the top row. Those are pretty good. Hey, if you're looking for a great way to get your favorite lures, go check out lurenet.com from Pradco. You'll find at the click of a button all your favorite brands like Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. But the site also includes exclusive deals and baits that you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. Plus, with $35 or more in your order, they'll provide you free shipping as well. So be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures at lurenet.com. Again, check it out today. That's lurenet.com.
So Chicago Bears have one of the openings right now in the National Football League, and evidently Caleb Williams was tricked thinking that Pitt Johnson was about to be their head coach. Take a listen.
I reached out to Amara. I asked Amara for Ben's number. I was asking him so I could see if it matches his number.
He texted me, I said, he said, what's Ben's number? I got these random dudes trying to hit me up saying they're Ben and whatever. I go, Ben ain't coming to Chicago. And then he goes, nah.
I'm trying to play a joke. I'm being dead ass.
Then he goes, nah, these guys are hitting me up saying they're Ben. But at this time I was eating dinner, so I didn't see my phone. 20 minutes later, I see the text, but it's too late. And he goes, it's all good. I called and it wasn't him.
Bro, the text was so official.
Can you imagine? So this is the most coveted, I guess, head coaching candidate right now in the National Football League, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. And I would be excited if he was about to be my head coach if I was now soon to be sophomore quarterback Caleb Williams. And it was just someone that again, got his phone and figured out and acted like it was him.
That's pretty good got you right there.
I'd be messing with, that's a tough situation. I feel like that happened in college. I'm forgetting what incident. Colton, you remember what I'm talking about?
Where somebody pretended to be somebody else over the phone? I'm thinking about Manti Te'o.
What was that school? Was that call Zach and ask him? Was that Notre Dame? I believe that was Notre Dame.
Sounds about right. By the way, a Auburn fan got on a Mississippi State athletic administration's person laptop earlier this week.
War damn Eagle! I saw that.
And
That's
put that on their social media account, which was great.
That's good. Gotcha. Hey, APAC Arcola has immediate openings in Boone, Marion, Baxter, Benton, and Washington counties. If you're a licensed CDL driver, a heavy equipment operator, concrete finisher, diesel mechanic, or have experience with paving concrete or asphalt, they've got jobs for you. They got work lined up. They need help, and they can put you to work. Great jobs. You can check all the descriptions out that include great pay, benefits, insurance, and more, plus profit sharing. Go to jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group, they're equal opportunity employers.
That's going to do it for us. Bud Light Morning Rush podcast features Tom Murphy and Coach Tom Crean. If you want to listen to Coach's thoughts on this Arkansas basketball team, we step aside. Halftime, Phil Elson, Matt Jones coming up.
Craft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential